Hello, dear friends. If you ask what is happening, just look at yourselves and you will feel different. My goodness, there must be a way out of all this suffering. Opinion piece. In the reaping phase, Kinetic Reset, Sovereign Era, Huge Changes, A New Day Dawns, Unavoidable Flat, Gradual Awakening, Central Bank's Silence. Let's start. The drip phase is a blessing, but the flat is unavoidable, according to Light-going Bull. The truth that will come to light will leave you speechless in the future. You are the pioneers of this real world here in 2026. We are just preparing our warming up. The dripping phase is a blessing. It is a gradual awakening for those who need time. No matter what you think, the Anonymous already know. A sudden flood would overwhelm the unsuspecting mind with madness. So, the truth seeps in little by little, giving each human being a chance to adjust their eyes to the light. But the flood is unavoidable. It's not a question of if it will happen, but when. For now, the dam holds. Soon it won't hold. And when it breaks, the world won't end. It will begin. Until then, savor every moment. You have a head start. Don't complain, just enjoy. You are love letters from the future. You are proof that you are not crazy, and that you are helping them on their path. A new day dawns. The rain is coming. The thirsty will drink, and those who refused will be the ones who drown. Awakening. Awakening means losing the old self, according to Laura Aboli. One of the biggest misconceptions about the path of awakening is that once you begin to see the truth, life gets easier. It doesn't. In many ways, it becomes more difficult. You lose sanity because you gain wisdom. You lose your old identity before you discover who you truly are. You lose friendships, communities, careers, beliefs, and sometimes even your sense of direction. There are times when you feel like everything you stood on is disappearing beneath your feet. But perhaps that is precisely the point. A caterpillar cannot become a butterfly without first dissolving into what appears to be a total chaos. The old version must die, so that the new one can emerge. The journey of awakening is no different. There will be days when you question yourself, when you wonder if you have made a terrible mistake, when loneliness feels overwhelming, and the weight of seeing a world others can't yet see becomes almost unbearable. These moments aren't signs that you are failing, but signs that you are changing. Every illusion that fades makes room for a deeper truth. Every fear you face makes you a little stronger. Every challenge forces you to become the person capable of living the life you know is possible. So trust the person you are becoming. The version of yourself that exists on the other side of this journey is wiser, calmer, freer, and far less fearful than the person who first stepped onto the path. So, if you feel like your world is crumbling, don't assume you are losing yourself. You are simply letting go of everything that was never truly you. And one day, you will look back on this chapter with gratitude, because you will realize that the person you were becoming was catching up with you all along. Reset. According to John Dowling and the Scottish Axe, the central point of the debate is the concept of a financial reset, a momentous shift described as the transition from the current centralized fiat monetary system to a new decentralized model. This shift is based on a return to asset-backed currencies, where monetary value is directly linked to tangible resources, such as gold, silver, and other essential commodities. It is an unavoidable evolution intended to stabilize the global economy, which has long been hampered by the traditional banking structure. Although this momentous shift is imminent, both Dowling and Sachs acknowledge that the precise timing remains a closely guarded secret among a select group of figures. Both speakers highlight the potential of sovereign wealth funds and large-scale debt relief initiatives to transform prosperity. Sachs argues that the path forward is not merely technological or financial, but rooted in faith and community action. He focuses on personal empowerment in a time of uncertainty. Listeners are invited to critically examine the systems that govern their lives, while remaining hopeful about the potential for future renewal. Fifth action. The fifth divine action anchors the Earth's transition to a new era of higher governance. According to Ranra, such higher governance emanates directly from the guidance of Source through one or more divine councils. Those who serve on a divine council like this have a deep and unwearying passion for the highest good of all, free from any selfish self-interest. These divine councils are composed of architects of resonance, human beings or intelligences who create experiences that resonate with others and inspire them toward humanitarian creation. It is through this sacred service that they can help humanity awaken its noblest human potential, which manifests as divinely inspired humanitarian creation. Reset news. You were born into slavery. You were told it was normal. You were told you had to work your whole life to pay off debts you never created. Now you are free. The old world is gone. The new world is here. The stagnation observed in banking indicators has nothing to do with the usual market volatility. On Sunday, June 30th, the coalition severed the communication lines connecting the Vatican Bank to the old SWIFT network. On Saturday, July 4th, the Space Force secured control of 456 substations in the electrical grid. On Tuesday, July 7th, the coalition disabled the old NORAD tracking network, and orbital surveillance migrated to the Starlink quantum system. On Wednesday, July 8th, the SWIFT routing nodes in Brussels and London experienced a protocol outage. On the same day, a straight reckoning operation was launched, along with the activation of Financial Reset 0708, which resulted in the freezing of 847 accounts, the liquidation of 456 shell companies, and the recovery of $678 billion in fraudulent assets. On Thursday, July 9th, the coalition disrupted the Davos Forum by arresting more than 400 top executives. On the same day, the QFS bypassed central banks by extracting the encryption keys from the old financial framework, while the reset was being activated. At the same moment, Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz again. Simultaneously, the AI price engine, which generated artificial economic shortages, was blocked, meaning the matrix has lost its responsiveness. By Saturday, July 11th, the coalition had arrested 5,811 operatives in 97 countries. In that same operation, the coalition seized $293 million from 5,811 SWIFT accounts and injected QFS override codes into the central banking system. On Sunday, July 12th, the protocol entered its final phase. The old fiat network data centers in Brussels and New York were decoupled, and as they all migrated to the QFS, where transactions are conducted through clean asset-backed channels. Each asset line in singular, was patched to verified and audited physical precious metals, and backed synthetic liabilities become dead assets in real time. The transition begins on Tuesday, July 14th. Your bank account won't disappear, your money won't vanish, but the system that enslaved you will be dead. Branch closures of major banks and restrictions on digital access are expected. They can no longer generate paper debt to balance their accounts, and their access credentials have been permanently revoked. They designed the matrix to make us believe their financial iron cutting was indestructible, but the main switch has been flipped from within. The validation metrics are in motion, and the old well is running out of air. The reset is becoming kinetic, and the sovereign era is in full swing. Economy. Volatility creates opportunities. Oil prices surge after Houthi missile attack. Tehran declares the Strait of Hormuz closed, but ships continue to transit. Central bank silence. Speaking less is also monetary policy. Japan orders the sale of $900 billion in US assets. The current calm can be deceptive. The risk hasn't disappeared. It's just become cheaper to cover. This apparent calm coexists with the fragile market structure. Britain is betting on hydropower to boost its energy security. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.